Hey guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are delving back into Battlestar Galactica. This is season 2, episode 8, as I'm sure you have seen by the title. We are coming off of the 2-part episode on Cobol, where we have finally discovered the way to Earth. And yeah, it cost some lives, some discord, some fighting, but everyone is back together as one big cohesive family. I feel like the issues weren't fully worked out, so we'll see if headbutting happens again in the future between Adama and Rosalind. But yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here and how Earth is discovered, I guess. Also, you guys corrected me corrected and informed me, which thankfully you did, because my mind was very confused about how Gaius became Gaius and Six were the father of Hilo and Sharon's baby, or they were the parents of, which is apparently not true, right? Like, genetically, Hilo, Sharon, that's their baby. For some reason, Six wants Gaius and her to raise the baby. Like, not sure why, like, they have any claim over or right to try to take this baby away from Hilo and Sharon. And also, I don't think that Sharon is going to give the baby up without a fight. Hilo definitely won't. So yeah, a little confused about that still, but much less confused than I was previously when I was trying to figure out how Gaius's genetic material ended up in Sharon. So that did not happen. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to get right into this episode. We'll talk about whatever happens afterwards, but yeah, let's just see what happens now.
Medic, we need a medic in here now!
Is Adama watching us? Or is...
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This recently discovered footage from what's become known as the Gideon Massacre.
Oh, fuck.
4 dead, 12 wounded. And yet, as of today, not a single charge has been filed against any of the Marines involved, nor their commanding officers.
I mean, it's the truth.
We need some stock footage of raging Marines.
I mean, they weren't raging, they were freaked out, but...
Ma'am, you're to come with us.
What, am I under arrest?
No, ma'am.
Then what?
And what if I refuse to go?
Yeah. This actress is very familiar to me, and it's bothering me already, but I don't know why.
Hello, Miss Beers. It's nice to see you. Welcome to Colonial One.
Madam President.
Oh. I know.
Commander Adama.
Where did you get the tape?
Spartacus, right? Xena.
What happened aboard the Gideon was a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not a massacre.
But the tape shows your men firing into a crowd of defenseless civilians.
My Marines tell a different story.
I mean, not really.
Commander Adama's agreed to give you unlimited access to his crew and his ship.
But she has to bury the story, right?
Well, access won't buy your propaganda piece.
People are angry, they are distrustful of the military.
Yeah, with good reason, ma'am.
In some cases with good reason. But I want to show the people what life aboard the Galactica is really like. I want to put a human face on the officers and the crew.
It's a good idea.
Colonel, it's your wife. Something's wrong.
Gods. Oh, I'm so scared.
Why?
From the darkness, you must fall.
I would not be surprised if she wrote that herself. Like, I'm sorry, but that is interesting, though. What does it mean? Could just be people that are upset with the video and the military indiscriminately killing people, which, if memory serves, it was unwarranted because people threw coffee at them, right? Like, that, I'm pretty sure that they just showed that, and that's what happened as well. So, like, My memory, and I'm pretty sure what they just showed, shows that it was unwarranted. Of course, I obviously don't think that everybody on Galactica is bad. I think that they're good, and I root for them. I'm just saying, that was a real bad look for the military, and action should have been taken against the soldiers who did that. I don't know what actions. I'm just saying actions.
Put him in a safe place. Hold on to him.
I like how even their cameras, like everything is like without corners.
More fallout from Ty's moment of glory.
You heard about his death threat?
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I just can't believe that I haven't been called in for questioning yet.
Oh, you were top of the list. Don't worry, I told Tigh that you would know Capricorn poetry if it was hot-sodded across your helmet.
From the darkness, you must fall. Failed and weak. To darkness all. Not one of his best. Can I be a suspect again? Please.
I was gonna say, she's got an artistic side, somewhat at least.
Some people are so...
Keep it down. Lighten up, pal. Do you know?
Hey, is that on? You recording? Hi, Mom! Miss you, Mommy! Hi, this is for my buddies on Freighter 212! Yeah!
Cat! Cat, you want to tell me what the hell you think you're doing? Go on, get dressed.
Yes, sir.
Costanza, get the hell out of here. It's the last time you come in the senior officer's quarters. So, you must be the reporter we were expecting.
He's like actually naked. Ooh.
Captain Leodama, commander of the air group. That's pronounced CAG. And I suggest you find yourselves an exit as soon as possible. And that's pronounced ASAP.
Think we've seen all we need to see here?
I mean, I don't think that you should be filming in a place where people are naked and getting dressed anyway. That seems inappropriate.
My dad went crazy when I enlisted. He thought the military was a joke, a refuge for emotional cripples and patriotic fools.
But you signed up anyway.
I guess I just wanted to believe in something. Pretty good piece.
Yeah, it's kind of old.
Yeah, maybe stay clear of them, guys, because, you know, you don't always control.
I don't know.
That.
I would love to speak to you. If you've got a second, we can do it now.
No, I'm afraid not. I am very busy. If you get in touch with one of my aides, there might be a small window tomorrow. I'm not promising anything, obviously, but I might be able to give you an interview then.
Guys, you are... Oh, I feel a little bit of secondhand embarrassment. I won't lie.
Captain Adama, I hardly recognized you with your clothes on. You seem to think that your pilots deserve special consideration.
Actually, I do.
I mean, they risk their lives all the time.
My pilots have lost their families, their friends, everyone they ever cared about. But on top of that, they're asked to put their lives on the line every single day for a fleet that seems more interested in what they do wrong than in what they do right. They're not asking for your pity, but they damn well deserve your respect.
I don't know what the like filter they're using on that is though, but it hurts my eyes. I'm just saying.
Maybe if your knuckle dragger spent more time on maintenance, less time fracking around.
This knuckle dragger just saved your ass, sir.
Why don't you say that a little louder, Chief? I don't think the camera heard you.
You know what? Frack the camera. You've been riding my
don't
goose
even
ass
try to
for
fend
no
your
fracking
stupid
reason.
Knock it off! Chief, fix the ship?
Yeah, why is she being a dick to him?
What? Hey, enough!
I don't like her being a dick to Tyrell.
We were never trained for crowd control. First order of business when under attack is defend yourself and your squad.
But these were civilians.
Truth is, it was a command frack-up the moment Tigh put us on that supply ship. Not surprised someone's trying to take out that drunk son of a bitch. All right, Private, belay that.
Colonel Ty's been threatened. No.
Yeah, I agree that Tigh shouldn't have put them there, but also they shouldn't have shot. Levels of wrong.
Let your critics know that you're not afraid of them.
Is that what you think? I've been hiding?
Are you?
Plus, it'll give people a chance to vent their feelings instead of seething in private. And finally, I think you need a little R&R. So consider this a mandatory short leave.
Ooh.
And, stay away from the bar.
Oh. I agree, but like, did they catch that? Because like, yikes. I mean, honestly, I do think Tigh deserves / needs a vacation, so. Oh, wait, something's happening. Oh, okay, something is happening. Something is happening. Was it rigged against him?
Main bus is total. Looks like somebody took a hammer to it.
Someone did that.
This is blown to transit. Cabot would have vented to space.
Is someone trying to kill him? Or is someone trying to look like they're trying to kill him?
Someone's trying to kill you, Saul.
Comes with the stripes.
It's because of that damn Gideon incident. Deanna Beers left 2 messages already. She's giving you the chance to tell your side.
I don't have to explain myself.
You should. You should, though.
Roslyn wants to placate the fleet. Put the Great Billadama back on his pedestal. Fastest way to do that is by hanging you out to dry.
That's not what they're trying to do.
The Gideon happened on my watch.
But you didn't order those jarheads to open fire.
I mean, he did tell them to do whatever it takes to be fair.
When are you gonna realize we're all alone out here?
I mean, the whole purpose of being together is that you're not alone. You know? It's the whole purpose of having family and friends. I think that it would actually be a step in the right direction for him and the soldiers involved to accept their part in what happened. Like, maybe they weren't trained for that, but they still cost people their lives.
They try to turn off the human part of you because that's what'll get you killed, but when you're out in the field, it's not that easy. Nothing's that easy.
No. I mean, you can't turn off being human when you're human.
Sharon? It's me!
Look, she's so sweaty.
Sharon! Give me your light. What the hell are you talking about? Give me your light now! Something's wrong!
Yeah, something's wrong with her.
Hold on to cuddle.
Is she okay?
All that I ever wanted was to be an officer on a Battlestar.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I put my life on hold until I was assigned to Galactica.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Cylons hit, and I realized that this is all that I know. Tech manuals, commands, and tactics. You know, I'm not saying that I'm unhappy, just wondering if there's something more.
He put his life on hold, and now he's worried that he doesn't have a life.
If you have enough ambrosia,
You get a tattoo.
it don't really hurt that much.
You have to kind of not focus when
Is this an interview or a cocktail party?
that's on screen.
Kidding? This is how we keep it painless.
No, don't give him alcohol.
Cheers, Connor.
Don't drink.
Cheers.
Don't drink. Don't drink. Tigh. See, she didn't drink.
This is a military vessel. We have rumors for every occasion.
Stop drinking.
You were in full command of Galactica for more than a week, and in that time there were a number of controversial actions taken.
You're talking about the Gideon.
Stop drinking.
I made a military decision. Given the same circumstances, I'd do it again.
They're focusing on the alcohol.
You're trying to set me up.
Yeah.
Please come.
Get out of my face!
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna look great if he was still filming.
Did you get that?
Got it.
Someone's a mean drunk.
Yeah. Which you knew, which is why you gave him alcohol and then didn't drink any. So, like, don't...
So what do you look for in a new recruit? Coordination. Good reflexes.
Uh-huh.
Most of all, someone crazy enough to follow me into combat.
To be fair, it takes a certain kind of person.
Why has Colonel Tigh not been charged in the Gideon incident?
We're at war against an enemy with a vastly superior force. And We'll not sacrifice the few people we have left on the altar of public outrage.
So 4 civilians are dead, and Tigh and the shooters take a walk.
Nobody takes a walk. We all gotta live with it.
Yeah, but if there's no repercussions, then what's to stop it from happening again? Like, again, I don't think that bad things should happen to them, but I do think that there should be some sort of recompense, right?
Speed 2.
What's wrong with her? There's something wrong with her.
Controls are messed up.
She's like passing out or something.
Still too low. Wave off, Cat. Wave off.
What the hell is going on? That is her 3rd wave off.
Yeah.
Pre-flight, weapons check, communications, one mistake. We're smear in the cockpit.
She's not doing well.
Kat, we did this all through training, okay? You can stick this just like before.
Is she the one that was freaking out on Tyrell?
When you come back after a successful run, let me tell you, it is better than a great meal. It's better than sex.
I knew she was gonna say that. People always make that comparison, but like... What happened to her? She like passed out. Was she too tired? What's going on?
It's Starlight. You're okay. You're home.
Home! Home is dead! We gotta get out of here! They're gonna kill us! We gotta get out of here!
What are these Sims?
Like,
Oh.
stop.
That's why she's been acting weird, right?
Hey.
She's having a nervous breakdown, maybe?
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Stims. By the look of her, she's been taken by the handful.
Yeah. I think she is the one that freaked out on Tyrell, and that's probably why. Because she's, like, amped up, right?
Trying to save your baby.
So much happening.
That woman looks just like the late Lieutenant Valeri.
The tape, please.
Why would Galactica be harboring a Cylon?
The tape.
You can't have anything that would compromise everybody's safety, so she can't know about that.
You understand that even a hint of this could be devastating to the morale in the fleet?
You know, after the Gideon, this could turn the entire fleet against you.
Okay, but there's a reason, and maybe everybody doesn't have to know every decision that's made in government.
And the real question is whether or not it matters to you.
I'll talk about that later.
You know, I'm sick to death of people like you questioning my patriotism. We all want this fleet to survive.
Then you should know that people as a whole can't know every single thing that the people in the highest parts of government know. Because people as a whole can be stupid. You know, that's just facts. That belt is so middle school. I fucking knew it. Girl, if you are a responsible journalist, then you know what you're doing.
Shall we shoot this one?
You've been recording the whole time.
You're okay.
Belle, you take the
Honestly, you're
hangar
fine
deck.
here.
I'm going to take the CIC.
You're safe.
There goes his close-up.
That's showbiz.
Indeed it is.
Did you ever come to terms with your dad?
I wouldn't let him. The last time we talked, it got heated. I told him I never wanted to see him again. 3 weeks later, the Cylons attacked.
I knew it was gonna be soon. I just knew that was gonna be sad. Sorry. I love Dee.
Carry 2 Cylon Raiders close formation. Prepare to engage. Weapons hot.
I feel like I'm them. I'm just like, what's happening? Trying to listen.
Second Raider.
It actually, we usually are like with Starbuck and them in these situations, and it's actually very like nerve-wracking to only be on this side of it. Yay.
Cylon Raiders were intercepted and destroyed. Good work, people.
Roger that, Galactica.
Set condition 3.
Mr. Gaeta, you have the deck.
Yes, sir.
Imagine your whole life is like trying to just survive, let alone fracking live, you know?
Does this ever get any easier?
Nope.
No, ma'am. It gets harder.
Well, we didn't lose anyone. That's a good day.
I don't know why I'm I don't know why I'm emotional, you guys. I really don't.
Ella.
I'm sorry that it's horrible that my first reaction is to kind of laugh at that. I'm not evil. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. It's just I don't like her.
Yeah.
What is he reading?
I know that book.
Do you?
That's by guitars.
Oh, he's the one who did it. The military guy. No, I actually really don't want anything bad to happen to her, though.
You need a drink?
All right. It was your people who did it, though. I mean, yes, you should have never been in that situation, but...
I can't eat. I can't sleep. I see their faces. Those aren't Cylons we take. These are real people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this isn't gonna change anything.
At least the people in the Gideon will have their justice.
Well, but he didn't do it. Y'all did.
But then do it.
I will. I'll do it.
Now, somebody has to pay for what happened on that ship. I was in command. I sent you there. It's my fault.
No, but not like this.
Do it.
Okay, dude, this would actually make you bad. This is... Yeah.
Gideon was an accident. This is a choice.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, I do
Would
feel
you
bad.
get out of my face?
I do feel bad for her now. Like, I kind of thought she was involved in it, but now I feel bad.
It's a hatchet job. The fleet already thinks we're a bunch of trigger-happy assassins. This just confirms it. You show us with our pants down and our asses hanging out. Don't you have anything to say?
I think it's great. I think she did exactly what we asked her to do. And she put a human face on the Guardians of the fleet.
Made him human.
Warts and all.
Yeah. Humanized. That's what you need, to be humanized, so people see that you're also just people.
I came to Galactica to tell a story. In all honesty, I thought I knew what that story was before I ever set foot there. How an arrogant military let their egos get in the way of doing their jobs, safeguarding the lives of the civilian population.
I realize it's not so black and white.
But I found out that the truth was more complex than that. They're not robots blindly following orders and polishing their boots.
They're people.
They're people. Deeply flawed, yes, but deeply human too. And maybe that's saying the same thing.
Yeah. It is.
What struck me most is that despite it all, the hardships, the stress, the ever-present danger of being killed, despite all that, they never give up. They wake up in the morning, put on their uniforms, and do their jobs. No pay, no rest, no hope of ever laying down the burden and letting someone else do the job.
Yeah.
The story of Galactica isn't that people make bad decisions under pressure. It's that those mistakes are the exception.
That was shown across their entire fleet.
Play the footage that was cut.
This is a restricted area!
I'm still alive. She's still alive.
And the baby?
It was saved. We lost 2 raiders relaying the images back to the fleet, but I think the sacrifice was worth it.
Child's life must be protected at all costs.
Of course she's a Cylon.
Truly is a miracle from God.
Of course she's a Cylon. Okay. I will say it got a bit patriotic for me. But I did like the video thing that she did. They should already know that Sharon and the baby are alive because Gaius 6, right? So is she not communicating with the rest of the Cylons? Because they seemed very surprised that Sharon was alive, that the baby was alive. So If she's not doing it for the Cylons, then who's she doing it for? All right, so I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this episode. One, just to get it out of the way, I really like the format of this. I like the idea of the actors being surrounded by cameras shooting the show and then actually having the cameras as part of the show it's always a fun concept. Like, I love when shows do this. When The Expanse did it, it was really good. This was really good. My only slight critique of it would be that I get, like, why they used the black line, like, old school kind of video mechanic for the shooting of the scenes with their cameras, but it kind of, and maybe it's just because I have some sensory issues with some things sometimes, so maybe it's me, but it was very hard for my eyes to like look at for an extended period of time. Like, I had to try to not actually focus on the TV and what it was showing, and sort of, when you can, like, when you, sorry, do I know how to talk? When you let your eyes sort of not focus and you sort of like, that's what I had to do anyway. So I kind of wish that they had maybe just done those sections, which was a lot of the episode. I just wish maybe they didn't use that sort of like filter or whatever it was that was making it look like that. I kind of wish it was just a little bit different, because it was, like I said, it was just difficult to focus on for a length of time. That's really my only issue. I think that this episode brings up a really interesting sort of question or questions, right? Regarding, one, integrity in journalism, two, the fact that we as consumers of media, including documentaries, including journalism, including these sorts of unbiased perspectives, have to understand that there is no such thing as an unbiased perspective, right? Obviously, the goal of good journalism would be to present the truth of a subject, like the good and the bad, and then to let the audience sort of choose which one that they think has more merit, right? But even when you do that, right, there's always a bias. There's a viewpoint, right? I think that once we saw the end goal of the documentary, the behind the scenes look at the Galactica that she showed, we can see that even she as a journalist has a bias, and she's trying to get the people who watch the video to view the people of the Galactica a certain way. And whether or not we mostly agree that that is the truth of who they are, right? They're just people. She sort of showed that there is more nuance to it, right? Like, I always say that for most things in life, there's not black and white. Things aren't so clear cut. Like, most of us in the world, if not all, operate in shades of gray, right? That's where we make our home. We're human, and we're gonna frack up, we're gonna make mistakes, and we're gonna sort of live in the gray area. And I think that her documentary did a good job of that. However, there was still a bias in her documentary, because she sort of came to view things a certain way and then presented it to the audience a certain way, so that the fleet would then view it a certain way. Now, like I said, regardless of whether we, the audience, agree, it still is a bias that we have to take into account when we're watching it, right? I liked that she sort of realized that at the end of the day, people in the military, people in government, all of that, like, they're still human. And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to frack up, and they're going to feel this immense pressure because they are the people who are keeping the rest of the fleet safe. And it's going to be hard. And obviously, like Dee said, which I thought was a great quote, that it gets harder every day or every time, right? Like, of course it does, because like she pointed out in the documentary thing, there is no help coming. There's no relief for these people. I don't know why it makes me emotional, sorry. But they are fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting every day. And they know that there's nobody else coming to help them fight. Like, they are it. They are the last line of defense of humanity. If they fall, humanity falls. And the pressure of that would be immense. Like, we can't imagine, obviously. I, like her in the documentary, like, I don't put on a uniform of any kind. I choose that, you know, because, like, I'm not the person that makes those decisions. Thank goodness I'm not the person that makes those decisions. You know, I think we can all agree. But I do have respect for the people who have to make those decisions like they do on the Galactica. And I think that it's important that they showed that. Now, I don't think that because it's a hard decision that people who make those decisions and make those mistakes should be exempt from the consequences of those decisions and those mistakes, right? So where I kind of differ is civilians did die because of decisions that Tigh made and because of decisions that the people that he put on the front lines made. I think that there should be consequences to that. Now, I'm not saying that the consequence should be jail or I don't know what that consequence should be. But I do feel like some sort of like consequence should just naturally happen when you who are, how do I say this? When you're in the military, when your job is to protect the people, the civilians, the civilization, right? I don't think that you should be let off the hook when you make a poor decision. I think that because you are in a job that requires more responsibility, you should be held to a higher standard because your job literally means life or death for other people, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't be human. I'm not saying you can't make mistakes. I'm just saying that when those mistakes have the potential to be so devastating, then you should be held to a higher standard. So it kind of still doesn't sit right with me that there's no consequences. I mean, sure, the consequence of living with that choice, like what you did every day, like, yes, that is a punishment in and of itself. But this guy, the military guy whose name I can't remember, he threatened Tigh and his wife. He tied up Ellen and he held a gun to Tigh's head. Like, granted, we don't know what his consequences for that are. That's a lot, though. You know, like, that's a lot that man did. And we just need to acknowledge that, you know? Like, I feel really bad, honestly, for laughing at first. But you guys, I legitimately was half convinced that Ellen was orchestrating this whole thing. Like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I think that she would do anything to further herself and Tigh into positions that she thinks that they should be in. And so, yeah, I don't trust her. I do feel guilty for laughing, but I really was like, she has orchestrated this. And, like, she got somebody to help her, you know? But that was not the case, so I apologize to her. I was wrong. There was another big thing that I want to talk about in this episode, but I can't remember it right now. So I will go through some smaller things in the hopes that my brain comes online again, right? So, one, the reporter, Lucy Lawless, Cylon, That's interesting, you know. 2, I already talked about it a little bit, but is Gaius's mind 6 not working with the other Cylons? Because I thought that she was, and she was like part of them, but is she her own separate entity? Or, I mean, not entity, but is she working with them just like on the outskirts, and at some point they're all going to come together and like fully work together? Or has she like, I don't know, gone rogue and is working with Gaius? It's just everything that she has said to Gaius has been to help the Cylons and further sort of the Cylon bottom line. So it's confusing to me that she's not told them about Sharon and the baby, right? Because they seemed surprised to learn that Sharon was okay, that the baby was okay. Like, this is brand new information, and it shouldn't be brand new information. I also really loved seeing just like the little bits and pieces of everybody, right? Like Dee talking about her dad and her regret there. Gaeta talking about how he spent his life working for his, you know, career. And then the apocalypse essentially happened, and now he's like, I don't have a life, I have a career. And I kind of wish that I had a life, you know, which I think is a common regret that a lot of people have at some point in their lives when they've spent so much time focused on one thing, and then they realize like, oh, I could have been living more, right? Because I think it's very easy in life to get wrapped up in work and achievement, especially in this capitalistic society that we live in, where one of the first questions you ask somebody when you meet them is like, oh, what do you do? Like, our job defines who we are, when really your job should be like one of the least interesting things about you. I prescribe to the model of like, I work to live. I'm not grind culture, right? So maybe that's where I differ with a lot of people, but yeah. Anyway, I got off track. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh, I finally remember what I was talking about. Okay, I remember what I wanted to say. It was about government and society, and like certain things should be kept, right? So I definitely think that there should be more transparency in government, for sure. Like, however, I also think that people as a whole, and I'm including myself in that, you guys, I'm not saying I'm above it, right? People as a whole, we can't be trusted with all of the information, right? Because I think that as a whole, people have a tendency to panic, to make poor choices, to just cause chaos, right? So I think that there is something to be said for what Adama is doing by hiding the truth from, or the whole truth from people as a whole, right? Because I think that, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. There are certain things, certain decisions that people in power have to make, and that maybe we as just random citizens don't have to know about. Like, we don't have to know about every single threat. We don't have to know about every single horrific sort of danger that is coming to us, because I think it would hinder our ability to live, and it would hinder people in power's ability to protect us because people panic. So I think that there is definitely something to be said about Adama trying to keep the truth of Sharon the Cylon from the rest of the fleet, that they have her. Because I think that, especially in a situation like this where the fleet doesn't know all of the nuanced details of what happened behind the scenes to get us from point A to point Z, like, and it would just take too long to try to explain all of that to get people to understand. And a lot of times people aren't going to understand, right? Because we all have different perspectives, different ideas, different moralities, different religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs that cause us to think about the world differently, right? Like the way that I think about the world and when I watch the show, the way that I react to it is highly impacted by my own personal life experiences, my own ideals, my own ideas, and my own morality, my own everything that has shaped me to make me the person that I am. Like all that outside blah de blah. And everybody has that. You're bringing that into the show when you're watching it. You're like everyone, all of us, we're all bringing our own life experiences into everything that we do and everything that we experience, right? So, yeah, I think that it's hard to get everybody with all their different life experiences to sort of agree on one thing. I do also think that Beer, I think is her name, was definitely trying to set up Tigh to be the scapegoat initially, but upon viewing him and the rest of the fleet and the nuance of the difficulty of making decisions when you're in power, she changed her mind. However, I think that it's also entirely possible that she planned to do what she planned to do the entire time, and she was just trying to find out as much information about everybody as she could to report back to her Cylon peeps to figure out, like, okay, so this is Tigh, this is his weaknesses, this is Starbuck, this is her weaknesses, this is, you know, Lee and Adama and X and Y and Z, and these are their weaknesses. Now we know for the future so we can exploit. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also join Patreon and watch the next episode right now over there if you would like to do that. You can also see my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica over there as well. That was a lot of words without breathing. Yeah, anyway, I hope to see you guys next week for more Battlestar. Until then, bye guys!